Hey, everyone. Thank you again for joining us on another episode of the Liverpool Connection podcast. We are at BD Riley's after a 3-1 Carabao Cup victory over Leicester City.
Another 3-1 win.
That's right. And I'm with my good friend here, Jeremy. And so let's get into the game.
Yeah.
Klopp made 10 changes.
Yep.
Curtis Jones stays in the squad, but then he goes to right back. And then everybody, the conversation pregame was like, who's playing right back? Endo, Jones. And so, and I said to somebody earlier, I was like, if anybody on this team could play the Trent hybrid role, it's Curtis Jones. He has the midfield mindset. He has the pace to cover. And so any surprises to you on the lineup?
No, I think for a Carabao Cup, I think it was good to make a bunch of changes. I mean, Salah wasn't even on the bench. Allison, I don't think, was even on the bench.
Robbo wasn't on the bench.
Yeah, Adrian was the backup keeper, right? Yeah. So, I mean, pretty standard for an early round Carabao Cup. Even though Leicester is championship, they're still, they're still a good team. So, yeah. And as usual, we gave up an early goal, and they had us right where we wanted them. So,
I got here 3 minutes late to the pub, and I missed the goal. It is just like appropriate, right? We've been giving up early goals, but I want to just go back to the lineup. It just shows you the depth of the squad, right?
Absolutely.
That we were able to rotate, and it's going to bode well for the rest of the season to be able to rotate 10, 11 players for these midweek games, especially in these early rounds, and keeping everybody fresh. Having different players play. The young man Kwanzaa comes back in. He looks such a natural in the back, and for an early round cup game, we're playing Leicester, who is leading the championship.
Yeah.
Most of their players have Premier League experience, so it's not like somebody in the fourth or fifth division, that you're trying to play. But Endo comes in as a six, who I thought had a great game today. He kept things simple. He made the tackles. He won the duels, and I'll be interested to see what his stats are at the end of the game. Going back to review the stats. But so we get off to the slow start, and it was kind of wondering, how are we going to get back into this game, right? But the quality showed. We're pressing the ball all over the field
again. Yeah,
and Klopp has this team. They're pressing with more than one person, 2, 3 people. And we easily in that first half could have been up by 3 goals.
Well, Harvey should have had a hat trick.
Yeah, throughout the game, Harvey should have had a hat trick. Doak hit one off the crossbar. Jota kind of got caught in between either header or tapping it in, and
he second guessed himself. I think.
But I thought the system worked. Jones was coming into that midfield, adding another body into that midfield, and he can distribute the ball and hold the ball. But obviously 1-0 at halftime, we didn't put a goal in. But I never thought I never was worried that, hey, we're not going to get into this game. What about you at halftime?
Well, I mean, kind of to get back to the depth thing you were talking about earlier, how long has it been since we've looked at a lineup and then looked at the subs and been like, okay, yeah, it's been a long time since we've done that. It's usually been the same 11 and then a whole bunch of who are yous, but yeah, it's just like you were saying, it's really good. I think the wind played a little bit of a thing, and I was a little nervous of our traditional second half comeback because the wind was blowing towards the Annie Road end, so I was like, oh man, that's going to really help them with the long balls. They're countering real good, but then we smothered them eventually. So
yeah, I think Kanate's physical presence, he saved a couple breakaways at the end of the game. So somebody was referencing like, hey, these guys are trying to earn their spot, and I don't think they're trying to earn a starting spot. I think they all realize that Klopp is going to make changes throughout this year.
Absolutely.
Whether it be Konate and Matip, or Konate and Van Dijk, or Gomez and Van Dijk.
Yeah.
So there's so many combinations. So I don't think that you have a Konate who thinks, I need to perform today to be a starter. Yeah. Because I think they're going to all be rotated throughout the season.
It's kind of like that interview that Matip had earlier this week. He was just kind of like, I know my position I know my role within this club. I know that Jurgen and Pep, I know that the good Pep, I know that they respect me as a player and what I can do. I love wearing this, this Liverpool on my shirt. And I think they've all bought into that there is a time and a place for everybody. And in the event of, let's say a horrible injury or the suspension or something like that, they know they're the next man up, and they're going to plug right in. Kind of like how whenever Simicast first came, whenever Simicast would come on for Robertson, there was no drop. The game played exactly the same. And I think it's going to be a lot of that throughout this season, which is good because that's really what's hurt us the last couple of years. Is that it's kind of like when those first guys go out, it's just kind of who's gonna fill that. Oh, poor Liverpool. So I really like what I'm going to say it. I really like what FSG has done for the team.
It's funny because even without Salah and Robbo on the bench,
Mm-hmm.
you still look at the squad and you're like, man, we have a pretty strong bench. We have
Absolutely.
difference makers that are coming off the bench in the second half if we needed them. And today, once again around 65 minutes, Gapco gets the goal, and well worked. We were pressing on him the whole time.
Yeah.
Zoboslai comes in, and
he's earned that number 8 shirt already.
what a hit! What a goal!
Oh
right?
my god! But yeah, I mean, I don't see the problems that have plagued us the last couple of seasons being an issue for the next few years, which is great. I mean, people were saying, Liverpool won't even make top 4, and we're right behind City. We're second in the league already. So, and I don't see a drop off in performance. So.
It's funny because I was watching some Steven Gerrard long distance goals last night, and then Soboslai hit that goal today. Still rising when it hits the back of the net, and it just reminded me.
He almost had a
that.
second one. That one missed by just a few inches.
But I mean, he comes in and he's a different. Obviously, he's integrated himself so quickly into this team, and I think he brings a little bit of confidence into the squad when he gets on the pitch, and it's interesting for such a young person that he's already shows that he can elevate the levels of the team. I thought played really well today. He didn't get the goal. Elliott played really well. I mean, he stayed on the pitch. He moved up to the forward spot. Could have had a goal. I don't know what he was doing. He was making some muffins on that one Jota pass to him, where he could have just one-timed in the goal. Yeah. But he was kind of snake bit on the goal side. But, man, he was everywhere. He has a maturity to do his game this year, and it looks like he's at least one step quicker. He's closing those spaces and pressuring sooner. And then we got to bring Nunez in, and he was chaos.
He's chaos,
right? But he won the ball
against him. I mean,
he won the ball right away, and he was creating chances. And I love the guy, man. I mean, there's so many things to like about this team, but at the end of the day, you want to come in here at home and advance to the next round. We didn't go into penalty kicks, so that's always good.
Yeah.
Right. But as we move forward now, we're looking forward to the Spurs game on the weekend, which we'll have another a preview show of that. But to be able to rest your whole team practically, and then they come well rested on Saturday. Now, obviously, the only person that played again today was Jones, and it'll be interesting if he starts again. We're a better team. The record shows that we're a better team when Jones starts. 15 out of 18 games we've won when he started, and so
I was not surprised when they said he was going to be wearing the armband today. I was just like, good on him. He's earned that. So
yeah, that's one thing I was like wondering who, and I think a lot of people were like, who's going to wear the armband? Is Endo or whoever? And when Jones got it, this really symbolizes what he's meant to this team. The leadership, him much of his own personal growth to the team, and he's still only 22 years old, right? And he has a big future with Liverpool, and all those that were like kind of doubting his place on the team when we signed these new midfielders. He's shown that he belongs.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, domestic cup game at home, you want a Scouser wearing the armband. So I mean,
that's true. Yeah, and if it wasn't for the Scouser on the other team, Cody, clearing a couple balls off the line, we're out of sight, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, he played for Everton, so it's basically like playing another championship team. But they'll get there eventually. But yeah, I mean, they have some talent on their team still. I don't think they're going to stay down in the championship for more than a season. I mean, they're pretty much running away with it already. I think we'll see them back in the Premier League next year. But yeah, it was a good competition, and I think if we had gotten like some third or fourth tier team, I think people are like, oh, Liverpool won, but whatever. Oh yeah, they played their kids and they played their backups, but whatever. But I think playing against a quality opponent like Leicester, the Foxes are still a good team, and so I think that really, like we were saying, it demonstrates Liverpool does not need to be taken lightly this year.
Yeah, I mean, and you can just see if you're an eye test kind of guy, you just watch the games. You see that the press is all over the pitch. It's for 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's by multiple players, and that is not what we had last season.
Yeah.
We
that killer instinct that we were so famous back whenever we had the Salah, Mane, and Firmino trio up front. It was just that constant, just they didn't know how to lose a game, And last season, I really think they just kind of looked deflated and defeated, and it's just kind of like they didn't really know where they were. They didn't know their place, and I think that showed in Nunez's game last season, but I mean, it's just that, like I said, that killer instinct, foot on the throat, it's back, and it's gorgeous to watch.
Jota is such he's such a weird person. I mean, he's kind of almost to me like Nunez, where he misses the easiest things, but then he pulled a Bobby Firmino, back heel goal, and it was so pretty, right? Yeah. And
he just needs bigger teeth.
Yeah. I don't know, but I love Jota because he has a chip on his shoulder. He gets pushed around. He gets in people's faces, no matter how big they are. But he's a constant threat, and he's a goal scorer, man. He gets his goal, so that makes it 3-1. We're comfortable at the end. We got to bring in Luke Chambers to get his debut as a Red, so which is good to see the young lad get his appearance. So it's good times to be a Red, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, like, how hard must it be for opposing coaches to plan for playing Liverpool now? Because it's just like no matter what three they start up front, it's just like spackling in new pieces every time you make a sub. Is somebody just as if not way more dangerous and chaotic and just it's fun. I'm having fun again. It's great.
It is. After last season, it was pretty arduous, right? And we come up here every week to watch the games, and out of duty more than anything, not really knowing what to expect. But the matches are fun again. That you can see the players are having fun again. Klopp is having fun again, and we're just getting started. I mean, we have practically a whole new midfield from last year, and they're still learning each other. And I can't wait to move forward. But thanks for joining me today. And up the Reds.
Up the Reds.
Subscribe, put on your notifications, and we'll still bring you content as much as we can. And look forward to the preview of the Spurs game this weekend. Cheers.
Cheers.